Perfect. Thank you so much, Ron, and thank you very much for the opportunity to spend a little time with you. I would like to share with you that in a recent survey, McKinsey showed that almost 60% of enterprises use AI today, at least in at least one function in their organization. So that tells you that machine learning has really transitioned from being something that only a handful of companies do to something that's integral to how corporations do business today. And we see a large part of that on AWS. There are about 100,000 different customers doing machine learning on AWS today. When it comes to generative AI, Goldman Sachs recently forecasted that the global GDP is likely to increase by about $7 trillion. Now, that sounds like an awfully large number. What does that actually mean? Well, they also think that productivity, efficiency gains, which you get from higher quality outputs through generative AI, can generally improve productivity for an enterprise by 30% on average. And so I would ask you to consider how you might consider taking those prospective gains that generative AI promises and how you may apply it to your own day-to-day business. My name is Mamoon Chowdhury, and I'm a solution architect with AWS. And what that means is I spend a lot of time working with enterprises like yourselves, helping them understand how do they go from imagining productivity, efficiency, innovation gains in their business to actually implementing them and making them real on a day-to-day basis. And so we're going to talk about some of that in the next 20 minutes. Across industries, we're seeing generative AI being used for a variety of use cases. So think of these as use cases that are in production today, and this is only a very, very small snippet of what we see in industry. In a nutshell, it doesn't matter which industry you're in. It doesn't matter who your customer might be. It doesn't matter what service or product you provide. We find that in almost every organization, there is room to benefit. There's an opportunity to take advantage of generative AI. And we'll go through some of these use cases in a little bit more detail. At a very general level, we really see three broad categories where enterprises across industries use generative AI. The first is with your customers by using generative AI to kind of reinvent the way you interact with your customers. It doesn't matter if you have one customer or a million customers. We're finding that enterprises can use generative AI to have really intimate, almost one-on-one, highly personalized conversations that are contextual to the needs of your customer at that point in time. We also see generative AI being used to serve our internal customers, for example, in boosting employee productivity and creativity. I use generative AI on almost a daily basis to help me think of ideas, to help me understand concepts that may perhaps be new to me. And so we see a lot of enterprises today using generative AI in this specific area as well. And then finally, we also see generative AI being used to optimize business processes. And I'll talk about what that means. But for the moment, think of any process where you're processing information, perhaps in a sequence. Maybe you're ingesting an order, maybe you're taking in emails to your service help desk, maybe it's trouble tickets, maybe customers are calling you up. Whatever the case may be, anywhere where you have information that you are manually or laboriously dealing with, that's an opportunity to bring in generative AI to optimize that process and make it more efficient. So let's go through these one by one. And I'm just going to stop my video for a second. When it comes to enhancing customer experiences, a very common solution that we see customers asking for are chatbots. Now, traditionally, chatbots were very rule-based and very static. and conversations, therefore, were not just complex to develop, but if a customer didn't quite understand the intent or wasn't quite able to express the intent when they're having a conversation with a chatbot, it was really hard to have a valuable and worthwhile customer experience. So what I'd like to show you now is an example of what a generative AI customer-facing experience could look like today. I'm going to show you a little video, and I'm hoping that the audio comes through. And let's hit play right here.
Let's say a customer has a question regarding a company's insurance products. Once a customer asks the question via chat, the AI analyzes the question to understand customer intent. Next, natural language understanding and foundation models generate a contextual response in real time that points only to your company's trusted and approved knowledge sources. As the conversation continues, the previous dialogue is used to maintain context and seamlessly answer follow-up questions. To support customers over the phone, these generative AI capabilities can help clients build conversational, interactive voice response systems that can even include user identification and voice verification.
Hello, welcome to Octave Insurance. I see that you're calling from 555-555-0100. Can you please verify your 5-digit zip code?
Yes, it's 12345.
Thank you, Carla. In a few words, let me know how I can help you.
I just bought my first home. Do you offer home insurance?
Yes, we offer home insurance policies that provide customized coverage tailored to your specific needs and risks.
I'm interested in that. Can you describe it in more detail, please?
Sure. Our home insurance policies consider factors like your home square footage, construction type, roof age, and more, as well as your individual priorities and concerns.
That sounds great. Sign me up.
Okay. You will receive an email to your registered email address with a summary of our conversation.
All right, so let me stop this right here. And let me just point out a couple of things. Nowhere in this conversation did you hear, if you would like this, press 1. If you would like that, press 2. If you're like me and you have very little patience, I just find that maddeningly frustrating. What you saw here is an experience of a customer talking to a virtual agent as if they were talking to a human being. They didn't have to go through a phone tree of some sort. They simply expressed, using the terms and the vocabulary and the language that they were comfortable with, what it is they wanted. And the virtual agent walked them through, addressed their needs, and also sent a follow-up confirmation as well, which itself is highly personalized and dynamically drafted, not necessarily based on a predefined static template. And so this is what I mean when I talk about using generative AI to have really intimate one-on-one conversations with your customer, no matter what the context, no matter what the specific needs are at that point in that point in time.
Let's say a customer has a question regarding a
if you would like to build a solution like this today, if you would like to build a chatbot solution, you can. We have an open source solution that you can deploy in your AWS account. If you scan this QR code right here, it's available on GitHub. And it deploys all of the things necessary for you to be able to create a chatbot that can serve questions and have conversations with your end customers. And it can also be integrated with Amazon Connect, which is a virtual call center, which is the second part of that demo that you saw. Now, just as you can have a customer-facing, high-quality experience using generative AI, you can also, for those of you that are in enterprises that may operate your own call centers, using generative AI can be highly impactful for the agent experience as well. And let me just briefly show you what that looks like. So now this may be the other side of a call, and this is with a human agent, but where generative AI is working in the background, listening to the conversation and proactively assisting the human agent so that they can better serve their customer.
Can assist agents by automating note-taking, recommending real-time responses for quick, accurate problem solving, and providing concise summaries for calls.
Thanks for calling Wheels for Rent. My name is Alex. Whom do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Thanks, Alex. My name is Carla. I'm supposed to pick up my rental car in 2 hours, but I need to cancel. Will I be charged a cancellation fee?
Nice to meet you, Carla. Let me check. You will receive a full refund minus a cancellation fee of $100.
Agent Assist draws on a library of FAQs and trusted knowledge sources to generate the best responses for your agents in real time. Whether it's helping cut ramp-up time for new agents or ensuring experienced agents have answers at their fingertips. By having a human in the loop, the risk of delivering incorrect statements is minimized. Once the call finishes, Generative AI can analyze the conversation transcript and automatically produce a summary, including the issue and outcome of the call. This can reduce the time agents and managers spend taking or reviewing notes. The summary also provides relevant key points when transferring contacts to ensure a smooth customer journey. Furthermore, conversational analytics and quality management can be powered by Generative AI to review contacts and automatically populate scorecards, answering questions like, did the customer leave the call satisfied? As part of a pre-filled evaluation form along with rationale for each. Agent coaching or training opportunities can also be identified to further improve operations. It can also be used by supervisors and managers to analyze customer sentiment, identify high-frequency issues, and gain new insights at the aggregate level, or by diving deep into the details of individual calls.
All right, so let's stop here. So what you saw is it is generative AI being used to augment and assist a human operator to better serve their customer who is calling with a problem or a particular service request, and also helping in the background to analyze how did the conversation go? What was the customer trying to accomplish? What help was the agent able to give? Were there any sticking points? Was the customer satisfied? These are all things that you could do if you invest some, laborious time to review every single call transcript. But generative AI can now automate some of those. So now you can also get greater visibility, more consistent and accurate visibility across all of your touch points with your customers. Again, it doesn't matter if you have 1 or 1,000,000 customers. Generative AI, we're finding, customers can use it today, or companies can use it today, to have those really intimate, direct, one-on-one conversations with their customers on a huge scale, with consistent quality across the board.
Can assist agents.
All right, so let's just very quickly summarize. So we talked about chatbots and virtual assistants. We're talking about assisting agents as well on the other side of that conversation. As part of that, generative AI can be used to analyze conversations as well. So you can summarize, provide insights. If you wanted to create a database with metrics captured from call transcripts, you wouldn't have to manually read every transcript. Generative AI can get those insights for you. And you can use this to kind of drive highly intimate personal conversations across your customer base. And again, we're seeing enterprises do this today in production with their customers and getting tangible benefits out of that. The next category I'd like to talk about is actually employee productivity, using generative AI for internal use cases to help your colleagues perform better, innovate faster, and bring greater operational efficiencies to your day-to-day business. Across business functions and across industries, we see generative AI being used in a wide variety of use cases. And again, this is just a snapshot. We see across industries generative AI being used for ideation, for coming up with ideas, for helping to do analysis, for driving personalization, whether it's personalized communication or outreach. When it comes to management, decision support is huge, helping gather greater, more in-depth insights more easily across different forms of data, and assisting management with making high-quality decisions in very short amounts of time, helping with planning or project management as well, just to name a few use cases. And again, like I said earlier, across companies and across industries. We're not really seeing any particular area where there isn't an opportunity to benefit from generative AI. And employee productivity is a key area where we're seeing use cases hit production today. Let's talk about what it takes to kind of get insights from our data. Typically, you may be familiar with a keyword kind of search. You may have documents, you may have contracts, you may have customer emails. If you're trying to accomplish a task, you may do a traditional search across your enterprise document base. Maybe you have an internal search engine, whatever the case may be. In recent years, we've moved to intelligent search, where there are some kind of pre-analyzed answers that may be surfaced as part of a or somebody's question that are more contextual. A conversational search is, rather than just asking a question and getting a set of hits that may or may not be relevant. Conversational search is really where you have an ongoing conversation that maintains context. So it's not just one question, one search, and one lookup. It's a question and an answer, followed by another question and another answer, maybe a request then to perform a task, draft an email, whatever the case may be. And we're finding that across industries and across job roles, this kind of conversational interaction, we are using it to gather information, analyze information, and actually invoke downstream processes and workflows, is becoming more and more mainstream, with very impactful gains in employee productivity. One of the new services that we recently launched, which is designed specifically for these kinds of use cases, called Amazon Q. Amazon Q is really a general purpose kind of chatbot service, which you can tie to your internal enterprise sources. It may be, you may also be connected to your internal, to your SaaS platforms as well. So whether it's your Salesforce, your trouble ticketing system, your Slack, and so forth, as well as your document repositories, maybe it's your customer contracts, your purchase orders, your trouble ticketing database, and so forth. And you can expose various chatbots through Amazon Q for various roles and job functions, so that employees can facilitate particular tasks using the scale and automation that comes with generative AI. And I'll show you a little bit of what that looks like. So here we've got somebody who's doing some research about a customer, and the chatbot is giving them some insights about that customer. We can also connect it to our customer emails, or maybe our Salesforce, and understand what is that customer actually looking for. Maybe what are the open opportunities that we have that we're tracking with that particular customer. Also, what have we done with that customer in the past? Have we sold them anything before? Have we given them any credits before, or so forth? And so in this conversation, you're seeing an example of that. The chatbot is answering questions, it's surfacing information, but also it's taking follow-up tasks from the end user. So here, for example, having understood what their end customer is looking for, they're now analyzing their needs in a little bit more detail and try to understand of the customer needs, where of what we can offer in our product, where is there alignment between what the customer said. So it may be the list of supported languages. Maybe the customer's really interested in supporting a wide range of languages as well. And so in here now, the last and final step is the employee asking the chatbot to, hey, draft an email that I can use as outreach to this customer. Now I know a little bit more about the customer. I know what their needs are. I know what a history we've had with that customer in the past. Now draft an appropriate, unique, highly customized email that I can send to that customer to maybe drive some engagement and some potential sales. And all of this was done in about 15 seconds, maybe a minute and a half with me talking over it. But you can see this is how we are helping employees across enterprises, across industries, boost productivity and get more done by using the automation that generative AI gives you at this kind of scale. Amazon Q is a highly flexible service that supports a wider range of use cases by making it easy for you to connect it to a wide variety of data sources and SaaS platforms as well. You also see it embedded in AWS services as well. So, for example, one of our enterprise services is Amazon QuickSight, which is a business intelligence platform as well. And you can use generative AI to engage with that tool and surface insights that you may wish to share across your organization, simply using natural language, just as I'm talking to you right now. So let me show you what that looks like.
Let's take a look at how business analysts and end users can harness the power of generative BI. We'll start as an analyst, creating a new sales dashboard. We can use the new Generative Visual Builder from QuickSight Q to create the visuals we need using simple natural language. To create a visual, I just describe the data I want to see. I can easily change chart types or add analytics such as a forecast. Let's build a couple more. Let's do sales by product by city. And let's create a breakdown of regional sales by segment as a Sankey diagram. Each visual we create is interactive and completely customizable, the same as if you built it from scratch. Generative BI can also be used to create calculated fields. Just describe what you want to calculate. Let's do month over month, free trial, percent change by date, so we can analyze the delta in trial signups over time. Once we save this calculation, the data is ready to use. Let's check it out. I'll create a new visual that combines order date and the field we just made. To polish this visual, I'll use the generative editor to describe the changes I want. Let's change the date granularity to month, add color by region, and change the chart type to a vertical stacked bar. Looks great. The dashboard is ready to publish.
All right, so let me just stop it there in the interest of time. So what you're seeing is, in the matter of a few seconds, I could get real insights about my business. I didn't have to use any SQL. I didn't have to understand where my databases are or anything like that. I just asked questions. Now, what you're going to see, I think, with generative AI is it's going to become really, really important to encourage your team members and your fellow employees, your colleagues, to freely ask questions. When you have tools like Amazon Q, when you have them built connected to your data, now all of the problems that prevented you getting high quality insights to drive high quality decision making, a lot of those tend to fall away. Now the focus is, can you ask the right question? Can you clearly understand what it takes to maybe improve a business process, drive productivity gains? Because if your data is connected, you can now very easily search that data and get insights from that data.
Let's take a look.
And so we've talked about a wide variety of use cases here. There's an awful lot of use cases that we haven't touched on. We talked about report generation for understanding your data. We also see generative AI being used for code generation as well. So for companies that are developing their own products and solutions, using generative AI to actually write code and assist your developers is also a very valuable use case as well. Just very quickly, we also see generative AI being used for improving business processes here. In this demo, this is simply a chatbot where somebody is using generative AI to understand a document, gain insights from it, summarize it, and so forth. Now, just as you can do this through a conversation, you can also do this as a form of an automated business process. And so very often we see customers kind of creating a pipeline where maybe they're receiving purchase orders from customers in many, many different formats. And generative AI is used to, understand them, get structured data out of that unstructured input, and kick off a chain of automated processing, which up until very recently would have required a lot of manual, laborious effort to be able to do. So we see generative AI being used for document processing. We also see it using for getting data out of unstructured data, and that's very often used for other business processes or even training your own machine learning models. Across industries, we see generative AI being used across the board, and I'm happy to deep dive into each one of these. But we do have a use case explorer, which is at aiexplorer.aws.amazon.com. So you can look up what are the use cases specific to your industry or your business function, and you'll see a lot of examples there around what customers are doing with generative AI today. So if you want to take some of these ideas and begin experimenting with them, well, I have shared a couple of ways in which you can do that. You can create an AWS account and play with Amazon Q. You can also build your own Q&A chatbot today using the QR code that I shared earlier. I would suggest that it really, if you want to begin to get some of the benefits of generative AI, you should really begin to understand what are the most valuable strategic use cases to which generative AI could be applied, and we can help you with that. We have a lot of experience with that area. It helps to understand what is the data that you have available. Is it patient records? Is it customer profile data? Is it data that's in your CRM, for example? Understand what your current capabilities are today. There's a lot of kind of self-based training for AI and ML, so you may find your colleagues are also very familiar with generative AI, but there's significant things that we can offer enterprises to help them upskill and become generative AI enabled across the enterprise. And finally, we'd encourage you to start with one or two kind of small POCs to get started. It's a very iterative process, and what works for you may not necessarily work for somebody else. So think about your unique business, think about your unique challenges, your unique customers, and iterate based on there, and scale the things that work for you and focus there. And we find that that strategy works very well for customers who want to go from 0 to 100 with generative AI. Just very quickly, with generative AI, there's a lot of considerations that you might have to think about, especially in highly regulated industries as well. For example, are you protecting your customers' privacy? Are you making explainable generative AI-based decisions? Are you applying the appropriate governance as well? These are all considerations that you may have to think about depending on your use case. There's a lot of experience that we can share with you in this regard, and I'm happy to deep dive on any of these offline with you. Some best practices. Again, define your use cases, be very specific, be very detailed about what good looks like for